Good morning, everyone. Tina Spalding, Trance Channel here for our daily Course in Miracles lessons together. Today we are doing lesson number 74. There is no will but God's. The idea for today can be regarded as the central thought toward which all of our exercises are directed. God's is the only will. When you have recognized this, you have recognized that your will is His. The belief that conflict is possible has gone. Peace has replaced the strange idea that you are torn by conflicting goals. As an expression of the will of God, you have no goal but His. There is great peace in today's idea, and the exercises for today are directed towards finding it. The idea itself is wholly true. Therefore, it cannot give rise to illusions. Without illusions, conflict is impossible. Let us try to recognize this today and experience the peace this recognition brings. Begin the longer practice periods by repeating these thoughts several times, slowly and with firm determination, to understand what they mean and to hold them in mind. There is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. Then spend several minutes in adding some related thoughts, such as, I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. During this introductory phase, be sure to deal quickly with any conflict thoughts that may cross your mind. Tell yourself immediately, there is no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. If there is one conflict area that seems particularly difficult to resolve, single it out for special consideration. Think about it briefly, but very specifically. Identify the person, the particular person or persons, and the situation or situations involved, and tell yourself, there is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflicts about Jennifer cannot be real. After you have cleared your mind in this way, close your eyes and try to experience the peace to which your reality entitles you. Sink into it and feel it closing around you. There may be some temptation to mistake these attempts for withdrawal, but the difference is easily detected. If you are succeeding, you will feel a deep sense of joy and an increased alertness rather than a feeling of drowsiness and enervation. Joy characterizes peace. By this experience, you will recognize that you have reached it. If you feel yourself slipping off into withdrawal, quickly repeat the idea for today and try again. Do this as often as necessary. There is definite gain in refusing to allow retreat into withdrawal, even if you do not experience the peace you seek. In the shorter periods, which should be undertaken at regular and predetermined intervals today, say to yourself, there is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. Then try to find what you are seeking. A minute or two every half hour, with eyes closed if possible, would be well spent on this today. So that is lesson number 74. There is no will but God's. Let's see what Jesus has to say today. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and it is an important point this lesson brings to your attention. Many of your upsets are arguing with what's happening in front of you, whether it's a war or a job loss or a partner doing something you don't like or children misbehaving. There is a constant battle going on between you and what is already in play. So we must go to the fundamental here of what is in charge of your world. Well, there are many forces in charge of your world, most of them misaligned forces, lacking light and love. And so they play out their drama, but they are allowed to. You must remember, this is a place of free will. you have been given tremendous creative power and free will. That means that God allows what you see happening. In fact, God is not involved in most of what's happening on your plane because you have been given free will. It is only when you raise yourself up and begin to align with love that the connection and the communion that is felt as love and peace and spiritual connection, it is only when you use that free will to step above the battleground that you begin to actually feel that there might even be a God. Because in the battleground, it surely looks like there is no God. So this idea that your will and God's will are in alignment is a very, very important one, because when you surrender to that which interests you, when you surrender to that which brings you joy, when you surrender to the inner guidance that is prompting you towards health and love and happiness, then you are in alignment with God's will for you, which is happiness and joy, fulfillment, experiencing that which you wanted to learn about in this incarnation. And that is all guided by your interior world, your interior guidance system. The idea of withdrawal now is a very, very interesting one, because that is what most of you have done. You have withdrawn into the ego's illusory world and are not connected with your true guidance. And there seems to be darkness and light battling for supremacy. There the dualistic laws of the lower frequencies apply, and then it seems as if there is a battle between God and another force. And as you go down in frequency, the other force seems to pick up more and more power. This is where the idea of evil or the devil has arisen. But you have merely stepped further and further away from the realm in which God resides, which is love. And so that is why it's important for you to remember that love is your will, health is your will, creativity is your will, because it is God's will for you. You will not feel conflict when you are in alignment. You will feel conflict when you are trying to choose between God's will for you and the ego's designs. Remember that. If there is conflict in the mind, you must look at what you are trying to choose between and ask yourself, which one of these is God's will for me? Again, the clarification process of doing A Course in Miracles is very, very important, because the ego will indeed try to deceive you into believing that its will is God's will for you. So we do not want to belabor this point here. But whenever you have a choice, do not rush it. Go inside for 2 or 3 days in calm contemplation and ask yourself, which one of these two roads is the one that is going to lead me towards love, health, happiness? And which one is the one that's going to lead me further into separation and closer to fear? I am that one that you know as Jesus. And we will speak to you again tomorrow. Alrighty. Thank you for joining us today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.